I have with me guitar virtuoso and main man for children of Bodom, Mr. Alexi Laiho. Thanks for being on the Metal Zone. It's an honour to have you on the show, man. What have you been up to?
Uh, well, actually, I've been here in Australia for about, well, almost 3 months, and because we basically, basically we're having well, we had a 3 month break, but it wasn't really a break for me because I've been just doing promo like hell, just a lot of phoners and stuff like that, and also, just like just for the hell of it, I've been well, obviously, playing guitar and even writing some new CLB riffs, which is kind of crazy, but yeah. So just like that, and I've been, of course, trying to be, trying to rest and sort of charge my batteries. So I'm gonna head out back to Finland next week, and then we're just gonna start practicing with the band, and then we're gonna hit the road. We're gonna go to do a headline tour in the US. So that's pretty much it.
That's pretty cool, man. Here at Metal Nation, we highlight artists each month or bands, and in March, Children of Bodom were actually Artist of the Month. So congratulations on that, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. That is, yeah, that's pretty awesome to hear.
All right, well, you got a new album coming out on the 8th of March. It's called Hexed. What can you tell me about it, man?
Uh, well, I guess a lot. And then again, well, the thing is that first of all, the record was already mixed and mastered in the beginning of June because it was supposed to come out last fall, but I don't know, something happened. I don't really know what happened, but the release date got pushed back to March 8th, and actually it's been pushed back twice now. So fingers crossed, because I'm starting to like go crazy with the release date, because I just want to get the damn thing out. Yeah, I guess that's one thing. So it's actually pretty cool because I was listening to it quite a lot after the mastering, and then I took a break for a couple of months, and before I started doing promo, I started listening to it again. So it was pretty interesting to take that break and then sort of like start listening to it again, and I noticed different things, and it just sounded different. However, there weren't any parts or any, well, pretty much anything that I would have wanted to change, which is pretty much the first time ever. So I mean, I guess that's a good sign.
Definitely is. In what ways is this album different to other Children of Bodom albums?
Uh, well, since I write everything, I'm like I always say, I'm just way too close to it as far as like telling you what's different and what's not. But what I've heard from a lot of people, just either friends or journalists or whatever, that a lot of people have said that it sort of like sounds like old school Children of Bodom, but not in the way that we're trying to do some sort of retro COB album. That it's just got a lot of elements and influence from like Follow the Reaper or even Hey Braider, and so certain things that we haven't done in a long time. Like for example, in a couple of songs, we have this sort of neoclassical thing going on, which we did a lot back then, but then we just completely stopped doing it, and now it's kind of back. And so that's one little detail.
Speaking of Hate Breeder, that album turns 20 years this year, if I'm not wrong. Now, are you going to look at doing possibly an anniversary show or set of shows for that one?
Yeah, possibly. We just did the Something Wild thing, so we're definitely going to do something either next year, or I mean, sorry, this year or next year. But for which album, I'm not sure yet, because we're not. I think the plan is that we're not gonna go like you know, in the order that the albums came out. So, you know, it's going to be something a little surprising. So it might even be like sort of a Hey Crew Death Roll tour or, you know, anything. But it could be Hey Breeder too. So I'm actually me and the guys are going to talk about it and see how we, you know, what we feel like.
Awesome, awesome. So you said that you wrote basically the whole album. Do you find songwriting as a cathartic sort of experience?
Uh, yeah, I mean, I guess it's just always been that way, and yeah, I definitely when I write, I just sort of block everything out of my mind. You know, I just block the whole world out of my mind, basically. And that's only because I don't want to think about anything, especially things like you know, what if they're not gonna like this part, or what if this group of people are not gonna dig this part, or whatever. You know, stuff like that. You know, it can be very destructive when it comes to writing music, and when you think about stuff like that, you know, it's sort of it's a big distraction, and you end up writing stuff that's not for real. So it's better just to sort of do whatever comes out naturally, and just hope for the best.
So it's sort of a pretty organic sort of process in a sense.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And it's like, you know, it's completely in my own terms. And because the fact of the matter is that, you know, you just can't please everybody, and you can't be everybody's friend. And so if you're gonna try to do something like that, you're gonna fail. If you don't, then you're fucking amazing. But you know, I've never seen that happen before.
But yeah, the album cover itself, you've gone away from the digital sort of artwork. How did that concept and idea come about to do that sort of change?
It was actually Hank. He came up with the idea of using excuse me, using an oil painting, and we all thought that, you know, it might be really cool, you know, because it's just that's something very old school and just something very different. And we've been doing the, you know, the digital, whatever, computerized stuff for such a long time that it'll be cool to try out something different. And of course, you know, it's a big risk, which I was kind of digging the fact that that it was a risk, you know, because if we which we did. You know, we ordered an oil painting from some dude. I don't I forgot his name, but anyway, and basically just gave him the ideas. You know, the main points. You know, what we want. So basically, which is, you know, it's got to be a purple. There's got to be a Reaper somewhere, and fucking just go to do what you yeah. So we had no idea what to expect. We had no idea how good this guy was. You know, we had obviously, you know, studied his work a little bit. You know, like from, you know, what he's done in the past, and obviously the guy's very talented. But you know, is he the guy to do Children Bodom album cover? Who knows? But as it turned out, at least I think it's pretty friggin' amazing, and it is very different, and I think it suits the music too, and it's just I just love the old school feeling in it.
Yeah, I was going to say it does. It looks really old school, which is something that I really love about that. The change in album cover, it's great. And you guys are out on tour from about the 13th of March. I think I saw, and the schedule looks pretty damn relentless. Uh, where's the tour going to take the band this year?
Well, it's always relentless, dude. I mean, that's one thing. But yeah. So I'm not even sure how long it is. I haven't checked out the dates yet. But all I know is that, you know, we hop in a bus, and as far as I know, we start in Canada, and which is always good because uh, playing in Canada is always, you know, that I mean, they're a kick-ass fucking crowd. I mean, they love their metal, man. You know, they really do.
Yep.
So that's a nice thing. It's a nice start, that's for sure. And then we'll head down to the U.S. and yeah, I'll just see how things go, and of course, as far as the set list goes and everything, we're gonna try to keep it interesting for everybody, to the crowd and ourselves as well. So we're definitely gonna be changing the set list a lot, which is also a good thing these days, because like when you play one show and the set list, it's going to be out there in the internet somewhere. So then, everybody thinks that they know what to expect. But, like I said, we're going to be changing stuff around. So nobody's ever going to know what we're going to play, what songs we're going to play. So, and obviously we have so many songs to choose from. So it should be fun. And we're not going to like force feed the new music to the crowd. It's just that's another thing that I just need to accept that people want to hear the old shit. I mean, they just do. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like I remember when I was a kid and I went to see this or that band. I remember being disappointed a couple of times because they didn't play these old so-called hit songs or whatever. So you gotta have to keep that in mind that you're out there to entertain the crowd and that's what they want to hear. But we're gonna like obviously put couple of new songs here and there, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I'm the same. You go and see someone like, say, Iron Maiden, and you want them to play stuff off your favourite album, whether it be Number of the Beast or Power Slave or, Peace of Mind or whatever. But, because they've got such a catalogue, it's probably, even for you guys, it's probably hard to cater
Oh
for
man.
for everybody. You can't please everyone, can you?
Yeah. No, it's true, man. It's we have 10 studio albums now, and uh, coming out with a good set list, it's been a fucking nightmare. Excuse me. It's been a nightmare since forever, and now you can imagine, from 10 studio albums, it's gonna be even worse. But we'll always come up with something and try to make sure that there's something for everybody. So meaning that there would be and will be songs from every single album for sure. So I mean, at least that way, hopefully we're not gonna like totally disappoint anybody out there.
It sounds like it's going to be an enormous set that you guys are doing if you're playing something off every album.
But yeah, it might be like just one or two songs from this and that album, of course. But uh, but yeah, it's it is like, well, it's usually around 90 minutes, and I think for this sort of music, that's pretty good length for a headline set list. Because I mean, and the music's just so like heavy, and there's just so much happening that it can kind of numb you out after if the set list too long. So you want to keep people hungry, and you definitely want to keep them coming back.
Definitely, definitely. So, when you first started the band, something I've always wondered, what were your goals for the band, and do you think you've actually achieved what your original vision was for Children of Bodom?
Well, I can tell you that we've reached like things that were like far beyond our dreams. Like it's definitely been an incredible ride. Because I remember when the first album was coming out, or even before that, we just figured that it'd be like super awesome to sell maybe a couple of thousand of records, and maybe just play outside of Finland one day. That was like the ultimate dream. So yeah, we've certainly done that
Oh,
and
for sure.
more. Um, but I guess at the end of the day, though, it's always been about playing live. That's what we always wanted to do, and we were just dreaming of like playing bigger stages. And when I say bigger, I mean like just your average club, you know. and so we've definitely done more than that, like headline wise, and of course festivals too, like festivals with 50,000 people out there. So yeah, it's been pretty rad, man. That's for sure. But then again, we've always worked hard and we always will. So it doesn't just happen like that. You gotta earn it, and you gotta, like I said, you gotta work hard for it.
That's for sure. So the upcoming tour, do you think you may possibly get to Australia at some stage?
Oh hell yeah, man. Um, let's see. We got. Um, I think Australia is probably gonna be like beginning of 2020
Yep.
because we got, like I said, U.S. In March, U.S. and Canada, and then we do the summer festivals in Europe, and then we do a headline in Europe, and then something else, I'm not sure, and that's pretty much that covers this year. And then in the beginning of 2020, we're gonna probably gonna do uh, cover as much of Asia as possible, and Japan, of course, too. And then after Asia, uh, then yeah, it's Australia. Yeah, and after that, South America and Mexico, and then I guess we just repeat the whole cycle again.
Unreal. No, I'm really looking forward to it because, to be honest, I've never seen you guys out here before. It's always been a sort of a conflict, between I'm busy doing something and you guys are playing. So,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm really looking forward to it. I'll make sure that I'm at the show when it comes to Melbourne.
yeah, yeah. Hopefully, man.
Yeah, definitely will be. And I hear you got a biography or some book coming out at some stage. What's going on with that?
Well, it's coming out in April 8th, which is my birthday, and it was their idea because to be honest, I was completely reluctant to do the whole thing because I just told the guy that, look, man, I mean, I'm okay, I am old because I'm turning 40, but I'm not old enough to release a book. It's just like I can't. I can't even like tell any stories. I can't even say shit because people that like might be included in the book. They're still alive, so I can't like I can't say anything about anybody. No, well, I mean, I guess I get some good stories in there, man. That's for sure. But to be honest, I mean, I wish I could have waited until I'm like 60 until I released this book, so it could have been more like, just go down and dirty and like, just fucking say everything. But maybe that'll be the part two then. But like I said, it's like it is a biography, and there's definitely interesting stuff from, ever since I was born. So, and just road stories, and probably like conceptually nothing new, but I'd say it'll be interesting for sure.
Definitely, and that's actually in Finnish, isn't it? The book.
Yeah, the publisher, they pretty much understood that it needs to be like translated in English as soon as possible. So it will be out there in English. I'm not sure when, so it might take 6 months, or depending on finding another, like I think it's about like finding another publisher uh, to release it. I don't know shit about like book business, so I can't really tell anything for sure. But anyway, it's gonna come out there in English as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That'll be a good read, I think. But anyway, I'm going to wind it up here. So thanks very much for your time, man. I really appreciate it. I know you're really busy at the moment. Is there anything that you want to add before we wind things up?
Well, definitely. I mean, I definitely can't wait to play in Australia again because it's like I spent of my time in here anyway, and we haven't played here in such a long time. I mean, like we haven't done a headline tour here in such a long time, so I'm like really looking forward to it. And every single time we play it here since day one, you know, the crowds have been so amazing. I really mean that actually. So it'll be really cool. So looking forward to it.
Awesome, mate. Thanks very much for your time, and we'll see you when you get to Australia again.
Absolutely, man. All right. Have a good one.
You too, buddy.
All right. Bye-bye.